Last thing. This kind of made me laugh. Kind of sad. Klay Kubiak was getting little interest to be a head coach. The Pittsburgh Steelers gave him a interview, another team may have as well, and I heard he took his name out. He doesn't want to do it, which to me indicates that maybe he wasn't so impressive. And it's not that I don't want the job. It's not that I didn't get the job. It's that I didn't want it. It seems like it's going to be hard for him to get a head coaching job if he's not calling plays. I know McDaniel did it, but he didn't work out. Who wants the next McDaniel? McDaniel didn't even get another head coaching job. So to me, my question is, do you think the Niners should let Klay Kubiak call plays? Or do you think they should let him leave for an offensive coordinator job that does let him call plays? Or you signed a contract, sorry, buddy.
See, I think Shanahan would say he does call plays. He doesn't call all the plays, but he's part of
he calls
play calling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same problem that Eric Bieniemy had in Kansas City when he worked under Andy Reid. It was like nobody really believed that Bieniemy had any significant role in the scheme or the play calling because Reid's right there. It's the reason that Matt Nagy, I think, has struggled to get another opportunity because I think everybody views him as, he was a lieutenant under Reid. It's like, well, if you can hire Reid, great, but Nagy, no. Bieniemy, no. I think it actually ties a little bit to Clint. If Clint winds up getting either the Raiders job or the Cardinals job or the Browns job and does well, I think you're going to see Klay be sought after a year from now.
Yeah, but I mean, with Clint, he was with the Niners and he wasn't the offensive coordinator. He was the pass game coordinator, which allowed him to leave and go to New Orleans and call plays and show what he could do, which led him to Seattle. And that was cool. That was generous of the 49ers to let him go. It seems like the Niners have made it pretty clear they're not going to let Klay Kubiak go. And I understand. I mean, they've lost so many assistant coaches. He's good. So let him call plays, man. Let him increase his all the plays. And that way, Kyle Shanahan can focus on, when to challenge a play, when to go for two, when to call a timeout, things he's historically not that great at. And apparently Klay's so good. His brother's good. Why not?
I think Klay's fully competent. I really do. But you know what? When you score 8.7 points per game in your 3 games against Seattle's defense, the rest of the league notices.
That's true.
Everybody noticed that Saleh was doing it with nothing, and that's why he got another job. But then I think Klay Kubiak, if the 49ers didn't look absolutely atrocious down the stretch offensively, then maybe he gets a gig. But I think he pulled himself out because once he found out McCarthy was getting the Steelers job, he's like, you know what? I don't want to go to the Raiders. I mean, look who's left. You got Raiders, Browns, Cardinals. None of those teams have ever really won anything. So, I mean, the Cardinals went to a Super Bowl. The Raiders haven't won in a long, long time. These are 3 of the worst organizations in pro football. So I think he was up for the Steelers, up for the Raiders. I think he might have still been involved in that Raider thing, but he didn't want any part of that. So I think he wants to stay where there's more stability, and he'll take his shot next year.
Here's my hot take. No coach is good at calling offensive plays and managing the game at the same time. It's damn near impossible. Maybe Bill Walsh could do it before my time. Even Andy Reid is better at calling the plays than managing the game. And if he didn't have one of, if not the greatest quarterbacks of all time, he wouldn't be a Super Bowl champion. He'd come close, but not get it. And I feel like there is something about calling offensive plays, not defensive plays, that requires 100% of your attention. You have to be planning the drive while the defense is on the field. You have to set things up and think 8-9 plays ahead. Whereas defense, you can kind of be more in the moment. You can sort of react to what the offensive coach is calling. You don't necessarily have to plan a whole drive because it's not on you. And I don't know. Now I want George Seifert is basically what I'm saying. Let's get George Seifert to coach this team. He's not too old. I think he can do it. I think he can do it, Larry.
Look what Jim Harbaugh did. He just hired an offensive coordinator. I thought you were the offensive coordinator. I thought he was the offense, but he brought in Mike McDaniel.
He's just there to yell on the sidelines and make silly faces. He's good at that.
And pound people's shoulder pads, and as you said, decide if they want to go for it or punt. But yeah, I mean, Shanahan's strength as a football man is his ability to design plays, sequence them. He's the true architect. He notices little things on the film that other coaches don't notice.
Agreed.
So that's his strength. So it's like if you take Kyle Shanahan, the play calling away from him, I don't even know that I really want Kyle Shanahan if I don't have the play caller.
I see what you mean. And that's to me like why I feel he's best suited to be an offensive coordinator. He's just so good at it that he won't be one ever again because he's graduated past it. But like if you could get a setup where he's the offensive coordinator and like McDermott's the head coach or Salah's the head coach, I feel like that's a winning formula because then it's like Kyle, don't even watch the defense, man. Just turn around and focus on putting your next drive together. It's cool. Salah will figure out when to, punt or go for it on fourth.
I mean, to your point, Grant, look at the weekend that we just saw. Two of the most respected offensive coaches in the entire freaking league are Sean Payton and Sean McVay.
And they both
effed up badly.
They both effed up.
Sean Payton, did you not see the weather report? You didn't know that a snowstorm was coming? The rest of the nation knew it. I mean, it wasn't like just a local story. This was a nationwide.
And you're the home team.
You're the home team. Take the field goal to go up 2 scores to say that I got to get a touchdown here. That was stupid. And then McVay, dude, I mean, your defense gets turnovers. If you kick the first field goal, you get a turnover. You kick the second field goal, you win. And it's like, instead, it's like, no, we must get a touchdown. No, dude, kick the field goal, keep the momentum, keep playing. I thought both those guys. Now, did they make those mistakes because they're the play caller and there's too much on their plate? Possibly. We don't know, but it's interesting.
But I mean, I can't help but notice that the 2 coaches in the Super Bowl are both defensive coaches, and one of them freaking owns the Shanahan McVay tree right now. And it seems like offensive coaches have run the league for the last 10 years. Defensive coaches are just as smart. They're finally catching up, and it might be time where it feels like defense is kind of running the NFL right now, and the ball's back in the offensive play callers' court to evolve and find something new because Mike Macdonald's a problem.
No question. I mean, and more than Mike Macdonald, Kyle said it when I asked him about this defense a couple weeks ago. It's John Schneider has found the perfect pieces. Mm-hmm. Now, we'll see if they can keep it together, right? But Drake Thomas is a little tiny guy who played with the Raiders. He was good at NC State, but I mean, he's tiny. But you know what? In this defense, he covers tons of space. And then Eman Warri's a perfect fit, and Julian Love's a perfect fit. And then they trade. I'll say this too. I mean, not to bash on Lynch, but John Schneider beat John Lynch at the trade deadline this year, last year, and the year before. So I mean, they've picked up guys like Leonard Williams, like Julian Love, like Rashid Shaheed, difference-making kind of guys. And then they've kept those guys. I mean, the Niners have done it with Trent Williams and CMC, but I mean, that's all I wanted to see the Niners do at the trade deadline is not necessarily, leverage the future for the present, but just keep building. Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed was a perfect example of that kind of a trade. The Niners traded for Sky Moore before the season, and honestly, he was one of their better moves this year, but Rashid Shaheed is just a better player.
All pro. And they didn't trade a first round pick, and they didn't trade a day 2 pick. They gave a 4th and a 5th for the all pro return man. And we saw firsthand what it looked like.